In this thread, stalkers post stories of in real life strange things they've seen in the zone. I was fucking around in the forest outside my town and met a Shirali, don't know English for it, named Yofi, and he taught me some cool stuff. I met with him maybe 15 times. Any questions I can answer, I hope?
Google doesn't even know what you're talking about, Ivan.
Maybe not, but it isn't Russian creature, it is from Tatarstan, but I don't know what its name is for English, but it is like a forest spirit man who like to play tricks and tickle you to death.
What did he teach you, Azamat?
He took me to a grotto and tried to tickle me, but I have an immunity to that, thank God. After I think he was guilty and told me to return every day, so when I come back he showed me how to set up shrines that make forest very happy. He also showed me some magic or technique to clean water which made it taste sweet, but I could not do it when he asked me to try.
What did he do to clean the water?
He took some grass, a couple of handfuls, near a stream, and I filled my canteen with the water that he filtered through of it, which tasted much different than how it should. I tried the other side of him, the water wasn't run through the grass, it tasted like regular forest water. When I tried, he filled my canteen for me and it tasted like the regular, so he told me to watch him again closely, but I couldn't do it.
How do I please the forest? What's a good way to set up a shrine?
He took many smooth stones from a river, about 20. Placed them upright around a large tree. He told me it was specific to be the oldest tree in the forest, and asked to bring some veggies to offer. And for the next day I brought a bunch of variety. He only used the ones he said were native to the forest, spuds, herbs, and some roots, and put them between the rocks and tree, which he told me would make the spirits very happy to me and my crops. I was only 11 at this time, so I went home and bought local sprouts to grow herbs, which later grew at a big size and for a long time. Also he told me that if I left the veggies to the tree every other solstice, I would have nature blessing to gather what I need from the forest unharmed. He said every other because the forest will not provide to the greedy. Also was specific I had to use stones from the forest as well, because if it was from outside it they would reject the shrine and curse you. Here is a crude drawing of what the shrine looked like. Just imagine the stones around the tree about 1/2 meter away, all touching each other with the veggies between.
Care to share any more stories?
By the time I had met Yofi, I was living not in Kazan, which is the most population and wealth, but I was living in a rural town closer to the south and west. The forest we had was big and was also part of neighboring province. When I stopped seeing Yofi in the forest after almost a month of seeing from him, people began to leave. But it was the old people who left and things began to get worse. In Russia, rural towns get a van that comes every week to provide milk/dairy, but for 2 weeks in a row the van didn't come. Crops would fail, but my family, I think because of the green thumb blessing, became the main provider for the town, which had maybe 60 people left. Eventually we left for Kazan, which is much more urban, but recently I have moved to America near the forest, so I am trying to find the oldest tree locally. I think Yofi may have died passing on knowledge that humans are not supposed to have, or he left, not sure. I don't think if there are the same shrine for the forests here, but I will try.
I'm kinda drunk and read all your posts in a heavy Slavic accent. Any other stories?
A lot of the people who I grew up around of were Muslim, like a lot of Tatars, but my town was Christian. So often some Muslim teens from a big town would come and burn down a house or two. But once an old man who lived in our town, who had his home burned, shot one of the kids in the leg, and everyone in the town beat him to death.
The kid who was shot, or the old man?
The child, and we did not be bothered from teens again. But the old man was arrested and taken away. This was in Soviet time, so he was probably killed. At this time my town is likely derelict, but I will visit there again and see about the forest.
I hope that tree hasn't died, because it sounds an awful lot like someone passed down a duty you completely fucked up.
Leading up to my family leaving, the town was already going to shit, from Yofi disappearing, what I believe. I was only 11, so if he put the burden of the forest to me, it was a mistake. But I don't think that would be the death of the forest, maybe I was not in tune with it enough and the forest began to reclaim the town.